Goose imprinted. For hate, breaking, disciple. Meet these two men, shaped by conflict, yet defined by courage. Yuval, an Israeli-born former IDF soldier turned anti-Zionist, and Loïc al-Sharif, a Jeddah-born, UAE-based Egyptian who proudly identifies as a Zionist activist. Raised on opposing sides of a deep-seated divide, both were taught to fear and despise the other's race and religion. But something changed. This is the powerful story of how they each broke free from the goose imprint of hate instilled in them since childhood. In a world still gripped by inherited enmity, their journeys remind us that truth, empathy, and peace begin within. Listen closely.
Hello. Let's talk today about how Zionist propaganda works inside Israel. Not in the media you watch, but in the system Israelis grow up in. How do I know this, you might ask? Well, I was born and raised in Israel, served in the IDF as a combat soldier, and used to be a staunch Zionist. So here is how the systematic brainwashing goes. It starts with the schools. From a young age, Israelis are taught that Palestine was empty before 1948. The Jews came to a land with no people and just wanted peace. Palestinians? They are either ignored or blamed for choosing to leave. The word Nakba, the Palestinian catastrophe when hundreds of thousands of Palestinians were either murdered or chased off the land to refugee camps in Gaza, Lebanon, and elsewhere, isn't even mentioned. Now add the Holocaust education. Every Israeli kid is taken to Holocaust memorials and told, this is why we need Israel, because the world will always hate us. It creates a mindset. We are always a victim. We are never safe. Then there is a media. Palestinians are always shown as terrorists. Civilian death in Gaza, it's Hamas' fault. Settlers burning olive trees, barely a headline. Now here's a twist. Even when Israel bombs Gaza or shoots protesters, it says, we are the most moral army in the world. They literally teach soldiers to believe that dropping bombs on refugee camps is self-defense. Why? Because they think Palestinians don't value life. So it is always the other side's fault. And if you're an Israeli like me who speaks out against this, you're a traitor, a self-hating Jew. There's no space for real dissent, and religion plays a role too. For religious Zionists, this isn't about peace, it's about divine land. God gave it to the Jews, and anyone in the way, not just an enemy, a sinner. So ask yourself, if your school, your media, your religion, and your military all repeat the same thing over and over, wouldn't you believe you're always the good guy? That's how Zionist propaganda works. It doesn't just lie, it builds a worldview where violence feels like virtue and occupation looks like survival. But more and more Israelis, especially young ones, are slowly waking up. And that is what the system feels the most. Thank you. Please comment.
I was born and raised as a very religious Muslim. To those who outside chanted, you are a kafir, by the way. They chanted, you are a kafir. Kafir means infidel, person who doesn't believe in God. Well, I'm sorry to break the news to them. I memorized the whole Quran at the age of 17. I was a very religious Muslim. You can clap. 114 chapters, that's not easy. It's not like the Tanakh, so many books. So I memorized the Quran. I was a very religious Muslim, but my views changed when I was exposed to the Jews for the first time. For the first time I was exposed to the Jews at the age of 27. At the age of 27, 16 years ago, in France, Paris, I learned more about Jews, I learned more about Judaism, I learned more about the commonalities that we have, and I decided to encounter the hate that I was indoctrinated with, and I put it face to face and I had the chutzpah, or the courage, to say, this is wrong, and I want to learn the truth. And this is why many of those who hate Jews, by the way, haven't met a Jew in their life. Many of those who hate Israelis haven't met Israelis in their life. Ignorance is not a bless, as many people say, but ignorance is the greatest enemy for peace.
State and religious media can systematically brainwash populations by repeating divisive narratives that demonize other racial or religious groups. Through fear, falsehoods, and emotional manipulation, hatred is normalized, often beginning in childhood, like Goose imprinting. Over time, lies become truth and empathy erodes. But each individual holds the power to resist. Courage lies in questioning inherited biases, seeking diverse perspectives, and rejecting the comfort of ignorance. True peace begins not with governments, but with brave souls who dare to think differently. In a world clouded by propaganda, ignorance is the greatest enemy, and truth, the strongest form of resistance.
If you believe in my message to the world, take a stand now. Like, share, and subscribe. Your support helps spread truth, challenge hate, and inspire change.
Brought to you by Tapestry of Humanity, weaving stories that challenge, connect, and inspire.